We are back. Okay, here you go. One across. Sit down. Oh, that's a great shot. Back in Calgary. Rachel Homan is going to win a 4th Canadian championship. Back for the PointsBet Invitational. Coming across. One. Kick it. Oh, here we go. Magic Mike. Back for another season of champions. And it's a win for Brad Guzzo. The goal this week, pocket some money. 16 of the best women's teams, 16 of the best men's teams take to the ice. And the dollar signs, they're going to grow with every game. It's sudden death, single knockout. Starts with the Sweet 16. The 2024 PointsBet Invitational next. On a beautiful early fall day here in Calgary, and we were just here. It's nice to be back in the Stampede City. We were here last February, of course, for the Scotties Tournament of Hearts, and we're back here too at Winsport, the event center on the grounds of Canada Olympic Park. As on this Wednesday afternoon, we say hello, Canada. So nice to be back with you for the start of another season of champions here on TSN with this unique event, the PointsBet Invitational. Kathy's here, Russ is here. Our curling family is here again for this event, which features 16 teams from the touring teams through juniors, through club champions. And there is the women's field, 16 of them, as you say, headed up by Rachel Homan, and then on down through Gabby Wood, who is a reigning Canadian college champion. So we'll have 8 this afternoon and then 8 tomorrow. And let's take a look at the draw, Kathy. Talk about the top half of the draw.
Well, really interesting, led by Rachel Homan. What an extraordinary year this team had last year. It's a balance of former Scotties champion and the youth, U25, U-Sport. Those are going to be challenging teams. What a great matchup.
And Russ, we talk about the changes. No changes for us, but changes certainly on this half of the draw.
Oh, is there ever, especially in the top seeds? You got seed 2, seed 3 in the same pool. Anderson's only got 2 players from the original team at this point in time. That has to be changed. And Chelsea Carey, the great player she's been all these years, can she get the broom in the right spot for the 3 players she hasn't played with?
So now our featured game will indeed be Rachel Homan trying to, and coming off that Canadian World Championship against a club champion. For Rachel Homan, already picked up a win this season against Silvana Tirinzoni in a rematch of their World Final. Looking sharp right away.
Well, and what's so interesting and why this team is so good and will continue to be is Rachel told us before the game that for her, she walked off the ice after that dominant world performance and said, I've got a couple of things I need to work on.
Hard to believe she's always working on her game. Now, if you're Gabby Wood, on the other hand, what's your game plan?
Oh, boy. Shorten the game as much as you can. Try to get a blank. A blank would be a victory, especially early to calm those nerves.
All right, it's time to meet the teams for this Game 1 of the PointsBet Invitational. It's brought to you by Home Hardware. Here's how. From the Ottawa Curling Club, the reigning Canadian World Champion, #1 in Canada, #1 in the world, Rachel Homan with Sarah Wilkes, Emma Miskew, and Tracy Fleury. Gabby Wood, the college champions. They are from a 3,500 student campus, Concordia University in Edmonton. They are the Thunder. Gabby Wood, backed up by Rachel Yost, Brenna Balassi, and Peyton Sonnenberg. So that is our first game to start this brand new season, a season of champions and the PointsBet Invitational.
The 2024 PointsBet Invitational is brought to you in part by PointsBet, the official sports gaming partner of Curling Canada. By BKT Tires, growing together. By Montana's Barbecue and Bar, Canada's home for barbecue. And by New Holland, proud sponsor of Curling Canada.
And so it is #1 against #16 as Rachel Homan and her team will play the 16th ranked Gabby Wood, the Canadian college champions out of the Concordia University of Edmonton. There are 3 other games on the ice, Kathy. Why don't you tell us about them?
Well, Caitlin Laws, that's the experience, comes in against Taylor Reese-Hansen. That's your U25 champion winning this month, so they are on a roll. Selena Sturme, of course, a former and current reigning provincial champion here out of Alberta, takes on Ashley Teano. Our feature game, we've talked about the dominant Rachel Homan, and the numbers say that they think she is dominant as well. Takes on Gabby Wood, and Corinne Brown out of British Columbia takes on Serena Gray-Withers. That's your U Sport champion out of Alberta.
Yeah, that's a 12-point spread. So there she is, the 20-year-old Gabby Wood. She will throw the Yellowstones. Homan is the top seed. Got the choice of colors and elected to play the red, and then she also won the button. Wood hasn't played, Kathy. She told us they haven't had any ice. They did get some at the Saville Center in Edmonton, went to Leduc, and then also in St. Albert. But they haven't played competitively. They've just been working on their game.
Well, and it's really tough, remembering that this is a team that has put education first, and so they love to curl, but it is not the priority. The skip, Gabby, just wrote the MCAT, and if you know about that, that's studying very hard. And finished in the 96th percentile. So smart cookie, but it does mean a lot of books and not a lot of rocks right now.
Rachel Jost throws the lead stone, studying chemistry at Concordia.
Russ, you have nothing in common with her.
No,
eats cookies, but
96 wants curling, but
it'll be interesting to my mind, Russ, the approach. You know, Rachel Homan wants to always improve. She's always working on her game. Do you look at this? You don't want to look past this opponent. So what are the pitfalls, do you think?
Clean, yep.
well, for this this young team, Wood, there's a lot of pitfalls because your Rachel's just so good. They're on a hot streak again this year, and it's all about getting the rocks in the right place.
All right, let's take a look at the keys to the game.
I think the hard part for this young team is we know how underdog they are, but they get 8 rocks too. They sit in the dressing room and say, look, I get to throw 8, they get to throw 8, try our best. No pressure, really, if you look at it that way. But be proactive on the brushing. There's a tremendous amount of frost, which we never hear in Calgary. And the rocks, because they're freshly sanded, are biting a bit. The break point's early. They're going to have to be proactive on that brushing.
Weight's close. Yep.
So as you might expect, a little up and down the ice in this first end.
Yeah.
8-9. Works though.
And now the Homan keys.
Well, you kind of touched on it, Vic. Keep your eye on the rock, or keep your eye on the ball, because it's so easy to say, oh, well, we're ready to go. It's Rachel Homan. But you can take your foot off the gas mentally and get yourself into some bad habits. That is not what they can do here. They got to figure the rocks out, figure the sheet as fast as they can. And then they have to go as soon as possible. Rachel loves to blank the first. You will not see that in a second.
The keys to the game brought to you by Sponge Towels, Paper Towels. Nothing absorbs like it. So to Russ's point, Kathy, is this a good way to begin for Wood?
I think it's a great way to begin for Wood. This is a team that played on arena ice at the championship last year, so they are familiar with it, but they're playing the most dominant team in the world right now. There's got to be nerves, and so the fact that Rachel's not forcing it just gives them that little bit of time to relax and also feel the ice, because it's very different than when they practiced.
These are tough games, Kath, aren't they? Because you could sit there if you're coaching Rachel Homan and say, let's go right after these guys before they're comfortable. But it's also their first game, and they've got 10 ends, and they're good. So, you know, why gamble in the first end where you're not quite sharp? So you could look at it either way. Rachel could be very aggressive early, but this is what she tends to do in that first end.
She does. I think both teams will finish this first end and be very happy with the style of play.
5. Okay. Curl if you can.
Mentioned the frost, Vic. You're pouring gallons of water out here to get the ice level, get the logos in, get the rings in, everything painted level. A lot of moisture. The dehumidification's working, so they feel the frost will disappear as the week goes along.
You got it.
So as we mentioned, 16 men's, women's teams, single knockout elimination. You have to play a minimum of 8. 38 minutes thinking time, and the winning team will take home $50,000. You manage, though, to pick up money for each win. As we watch Brenna Balassi who studies human ecology.
It's a great system for the athletes. Most of the spiels, you have to qualify to get your money, and you could go 3-2 or 4-2 and not make the playoffs, not make a dime, be there all week, lose a couple close ones. So this, you win one, at least you've got some money in the pocket.
Okay. That's not quite straight there. Yeah. Okay.
I look, Kat, to see if any of the errors, I think the hits are going to be missed wide, because this morning we were getting 9 feet of curl in practice with the frost. Not nearly that much now.
No, it's funny as you say that. I'm writing a note. Aaron Pincott just flashed wide a hit on sheet D.
Okay.
And I think it is a combination of what Rachel Homan calls September throws. Nobody's sharp. You're going to get a couple of throws that you kind of go, whoa, what was that? But it also is the ice has changed, and it was curling so much. So the mistake will be wide. I agree.
That's good. Good throw. 13-7.
It was a busy off-season for Rachel, but all the players said walking by us how short an off-season it was after the World win in late March in Sydney.
Down, Norma. Whoa. Okay, good. That's more than my draw.
Now all the teams were given money to cover their expenses here, their travel and accommodations. That was $5,000. Now if you win here, you'll pick up an additional $3,000, and then you add to it with each successive win. That final win is $24,000. So the grand prize for the winners here, as Rachel Homan knows from her win a year ago, is $50,000.
No roll. 9-3.
It's an awfully short event to win that kind of money. And
Good sweep.
if you're invited to this, you're not saying no.
Yeah, this is tighter.
You know, Kathy, though,
Come up a
I'm going
bit.
to just take issue. Not issue, just make a point here. I think some people would say that Rachel Homan should have gone right after her. Right after Gabby Wood. Let's go, girl. I'm going to put you in the hot seat right now.
And I agree. There will be people that will say that, but one of the biggest reasons that this team has had the success that they have is Rachel doesn't play individual. She has a game plan, and her game plan is start the game simple and run it up and down. And she doesn't care whether you're Silvana Tiranzoni or you're Gabby Wood. That is her game plan, and she's not going to change that based on who you are.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah. 9-1 on both.
So this is our first look at Gabby Wood, the 20-year-old from Stony Plain, studying biology. And as mentioned, Concordia, there is no relationship to the Concordia University in Montreal. This is a small campus, 3,500 people, or students, pardon me. They're known as the Thunder, and it's because of that small base of students that they play in the college competition and not in the university.
Interesting.
I don't know. I always feel like I'm not.
Another one stayed on the high side.
Gonna end up on my ass. Did you actually? No.
Now, one of the things we are told is that they were really celebrated when they came back as national champions. And they were taken to dinner by the university president, and on their awards night were given a standing ovation by the student body. And today, we want to say hello to all the students at Concordia, as all the television monitors around the university are showing this game.
Awesome.
That's too much. No. Weight's good. Okay, I got spine good. Weight's good. Hasn't curled yet. Line. Wait, curl. Really hang. Curl. T-line. Curl it. 5. Curl. 14-1. Good piece. Good judge.
It's an early scrub for Wilkes and Miscue.
Nice free one for the skipper there, Vic, and you can learn so much off these top teams. It was a race to the button for the two practices, so everybody goes outside into the center line. Rachel could have done that because she knew the path. Why not find a new path? So there they go. They now know it's a little slower.
She wouldn't share, though, Kathy, what are the things that she was still working on.
Well, not with you.
Yeah, thank you.
No, I think that, you know, the one thing that you don't want to share with your opponents is what you feel your weaknesses are, because people will exploit that. But the very fact that she walks off that dominant performance and says, yeah, I'm a world champion, but I can be better.
I mean, think about it.
Yes.
They were 67 wins and 7 losses. And they won a PointsBet, which really kick-started the season. And then you go on to win the Scotties and the Worlds. And for her to be back here and the memories flooding back, the support they got, and of course the win over Jennifer Jones County.
Yeah, it's very, very unusual that you win a championship and you're back in the building right away. And she can still recall the moment of seeing Jennifer Stone come down, knowing it was going to tick and she wouldn't have to throw her last one. Normally, you don't get back to the same building ever in your career to win a Canadian championship or a Worlds or to play in something like this. So a special place for this Homan team.
Wow.
Look out.
Look out, and away it goes. Yeah, right there. No mistake, as Miss Q will brush it out. It's the PointsBet Invitational to kick off a season of champions. The Winsport Event Center is our home for the next 5 days. This is the beginning of a new season of champions. PointsBet Invitational. Rachel Homan, #1 in Canada, #1 in the world. Canadian world champion against the number 16 seed from Concordia University in Edmonton, Gabby Wood. So right to the lid goes Wood with her first. Up goes the corner, and now they miss a little over curl on covering the shot stone. But let's go back to what you said. We get a blank, and you said that would be a win for Wood.
Yeah, and it really is. And it's just Rachel's style. She doesn't want to go after it in the first end. And you know, there's many reasons. You have to be comfortable with your 4 players. You now have hammer in an even end. If that continues, Rachel's going to hammer in 10 if it goes that distance. And here's the real problem, Beck, is that center guard over curled by a couple feet, and Rachel's really got full access to shot rock and 2 corner guards here.
Hard. Take it up. Hard, all the way up. Yeah.
No, and just pushes it to the back 12. It's out in the open, but an early mistake.
Okay, well now we get a
By Homan. First update, Kathy. Let's go and check in on #4 Laws against #13 Reese Hansen.
Well, Caitlin Laws hit to lie 2 on her first and got the opportunity to convert that when Taylor Reese Hansen rolled too far in removing the Laws stone. So this is a draw for 2, needs a bite of the 8-foot.
Caitlin Laws out of the Fort Rouge in Winnipeg. #4 here. #10 in the world against Taylor Reese Hansen from the Victoria Curling Club, who is the under-25 next generation champion.
14-3.
2.
And 2 it is. It's a good start for Caitlin Laws, who is expecting her second child, I think, Kathy, within the next month or so.
Exactly.
So an opportunity to get behind the corner, missed there on the stone from Brenda Balassi.
Team Homan's had a complete miss here, but they're actually in great shape. The rocks behind the tee line aren't going to hurt them at all. Could actually be advantageous. And again, they're going to try to get around this yellow corner here. Tap it and roll.
Curl. Lead. Forward. Curl. Gonna have to go on that yellow. Okay. Nice shot.
Made a move, maybe tucks a little piece in behind that guard covering the 8-foot. Again, Kathy, let's go and check in on #5, Selena Sturme from Edmonton, against the #12 seed, and this is Ashley Teano.
Well, you saw the yellow stone that was at the back of the 8-foot. That was the final stone thrown by Ashley Teano, sliding too deep. So already lying 2. This is a draw for 3. 8-foot needed.
Sturme gets in as the reigning Alberta champion. Teano takes over the team formerly skipped by Skylar Ackerman, who has stepped away from the game to continue her education. And Sturme cracks a 3 early.
That's huge. So is that jam, Vic. We talked about Wilkes missing a wide open hit, but kicked it to the back, buried back 12 foot. And that all of a sudden works out well for Team Homan with a jam here. Again, the guards especially, Kathy, I think with the little bit of dusting of frost and the fresh sanding of the stones, you know what it's like. You throw the guard, the break points becomes that much sooner, and they're really over curling.
And the other thing they talked about was the rotation on the handle. Rachel Homan's team throws a lot of rotation. They're going to run a little bit better. For the Woods team, not as crisp, and so they're just not getting them in the right spots.
Miscue doesn't get the roll in behind the corner, so they are sitting 2, however. Homan with last rock here in this second end.
I thought I was a bit light
against
on that
Gabby
too.
Wood.
Yeah, and then it was fine.
Third stones, and this is Peyton Sonnenberg, studying environmental sciences at Concordia. And makes the move towards that corner. Doesn't get there.
Was I up? It's probably like 10. They have a double if we roll my way. If you nose it, it's nose. Heavy hack. Yeah. Heavy hack.
This is a tricky little shot. There's only been a couple out turns down the other side of the center line. This could be a little crispy here. You're only asking for like a heavy hack. The heavy's better than light in this situation.
Keep going. Keep going, Emma. Solid board. Keep going.
Could roll it buried here if it keeps finishing. No.
Keep going.
Wow.
Okay. Yep.
A September throw, do you think, Kathy?
It's a good explanation as anything. Sometimes everything works out really good, but you still will see, and we'll see that in the men's as well, a couple of throws that you kind of go, where did that come from? It's early.
Yeah, I think Tracy was maybe thinking along the lines of what I offered up there, that it could be crispy there. She threw that pretty hard for what they Skip asked for. This is going to
Sonnenberg. Oh, and will wreck on the her own corner and push it towards the center line.
It actually curled a little bit there.
10-1.
Oh, okay. Good sweep.
You can keep it there. We can finish at the end.
So Tracy Fleury throwing the third stones. Kathy, you mentioned to Sarah Wilkes. Remember in the disarray this team was 3 years ago when they had Tracy throwing the fourth stone, Rachel skipping, and they were just a mess. And then look what happened last year when they went back to the more conventional Rachel skipping. But Sarah, I thought, put it really well. She said, look, in a situation like that, we all sort of play different positions, and we gained a new respect for our different positions.
Well, and you learn things. Rachel Homan learned what it was like to run up and down and sweep and to judge with the team. It helps you appreciate more what they go through and how difficult the judgment of the stone is. We watch these players make so many great decisions. You forget that it really is an art to judge when to sweep and how much to sweep. But no one was surprised when Rachel went back to the helm to call and to throw. That is her spot.
This curl's hard. It's out wide enough. You can see a little bit of dusting of frost here too. They have to stay on this to keep it in play.
And she'll flash.
Kathy, I just came back from a clinic at the beautiful Abbotsford Curling Club, and all the people in the clinic were throwing 1.5, 2 rotations on the draws for the most part. And to explain to the club curler how important that is to get rotation. And there's a massive difference here between especially Team Homan, because they throw tons of rotation, That one had maybe a 1.5 coming down.
And that may get you okay in a curling club, but in an arena, it comes off, it curls completely different. You really have to manufacture more rotation when you're playing on arena ice. And honestly, we've seen the Scottish gentleman demonstrated that more rotation provides more consistency as well.
But again, I mean, you're there too. They did play on the arena ice. They do know what it's like. They played in Fredericton, so she just maybe had a short memory.
I think that'll be similar.
Yeah.
We swept it most of the way.
Yeah, you know what, but throwing on arena ice and throwing consistently on arena ice, that's why we talk about the teams that do really well at their provincial championships on curling club ice and then come to the Scotties and the Briar. They've been on arena ice, but the more you play on it, the better you get.
Yeah, that's just it. You've got to have it pounded in your head. You've got to be able to believe it. Like this is coming through the R in Calgary. That is roughly 4.5 feet.
But look at the handle on it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it is a top.
No, you got to go together. Yep.
Get it by.
That's
My
good.
goodness, great.
Nice shot.
That's wonderful. Great brush, great judgment. Again, showing championship form, Miss Q and Wilkes.
Almost a bit of a pop release with Rachel Homan, Kath, and she's got her hand back a little bit on the away from the neck. It gives her a little more leverage, and there's a definite finish to it.
Yes.
You don't just let it fall out of your hand.
It's a definite set to it. So instead of starting to curl right away, it runs straight before it does it. And then as the weight comes off this ice that is so beautiful that Greg Owasco's put together is going to help finish it. But if you throw it soft, you're going to see that kind of movement early and you have no chance to get by the guard.
I missed it. What?
Once it's up to speed, Rachel's around that 6 rotation area. This team so far, Team Wood, I would say is more like 3, 2.5 in some cases, and it's just going to be a little more friction. It's going to grab, going to curl sooner, could curl into a slower spot. It can make you look really bad. I would argue this isn't enough ice. Unless they're trying to tap it.
Playing down to the corner, shot stone, are they?
Line's closed.
Yeah.
Line's good.
It's doing hard though, so it's staying out there now at this point in time.
And there's definitely more handle on this one.
Yeah. Yes,
You're
there is.
bouncing no matter what. Oh, just leave it. Just leave it. Okay.
Don't want to bounce in the open here.
It could be a big 4. And she does.
Good try.
A little heavy, but your line was.
Yeah. Is it appropriate to go to the water right now?
Yes.
The line was okay, but only because it was heavy. Yikes.
Who threw here and it ran? Is it you?
Sarah threw the board waiter.
I would argue it's a
We had to
perfect
carve it
storm
all the way, right?
She threw control.
for Team
but
Wood.
it didn't curl. We were just trying to hit her off on center line.
Mine?
I know you're playing
Yeah, I threw
this
control.
young woman,
I'm
but
throwing control.
with a little bit of
control, yeah.
frost, the fresh rocks.
Are you going to keep it
And
there?
Rachel's hard to read. Watch how she throws this out turn. She almost sets it out a little bit. I would call it wide. It's the way we used to call it, little outward motion. She does it every time. That makes her a machine. But her rocks, no matter how aggressive the stones are there,
Little heavy.
it's backing up a hair towards Tracy. There's very, very little curl. So it's hard to read that if you don't throw it like that.
Normal.
Well done. So the reigning Canadian and world champion takes advantage of some misses and will pop a 4 here in the second. Yeah, I mean, listen, it was a season, obviously, is going to be very difficult to ever match. That's how good they were. But you look at what they did. We already talked about when Fleury threw the 4th stone and Homan was skipping that in 20 through and 23 compared to what they did last year. And now already They ran the table in Cornwall as they beat Silvana Tiranzoni in the Shorty Jenkins event. So off to a wonderful start again. 8 straight wins, and now scoring a 4 in the second as we welcome you back. The start of a brand new season of champions here on TSN, and our first event, the PointsBet Invitational. And in this one, it's Rachel Homan, #1 in Canada and the world, against the reigning Canadian women's college champion in Gabby Wood from Edmonton. And it is Wood that has the last rock, has the hammer, playing the Yellowstones here in 3.
What's she saying? I'm not sure. 5. You got room.
Interesting play here from Homan. They normally would, with the one on the button, you'll see it come into frame here shortly. You'd normally, when the corner guard goes up from the opponent, you would guard the one on the button because it's a good rock. But what Homan's done is they've taken away the out-turn draw around the corner guard with that rock that's top 12.
I love that play.
I do too.
All right, what's the reason? What is she afraid about? Something about the out-turn or something?
No, it's just that that's exactly what Wood's going to try to do to generate a multiple score here. She's going to get around that. She can't, with this ice, you can probably not get around on the in-turn as we look at it because you're out in the frost. So they've blocked it off. That's really all they've done. The only problem with that blocking it off is if you're ever way light or way heavy, you're actually helping your opponent. But Team Homan doesn't miss that many rocks. But now they have to deal with it, Beck.
And they'll stuff it, jam it back, and they will lose their own.
10-5, good weight.
It may be just hanging on the edge. One of the Homan stones goes out the back.
If that rolls out, Rachel runs up, peels the corner guard, and there goes your two-ender. They forced Team Wood to play a defensive shot. That's hard to do when you're up 4.
I think that's worse.
Yeah.
I like peeling the guard.
Yeah, peel the guard into the yellow one even.
Yeah.
Maybe
that's
make the
hard to
double.
do with the, yeah, maybe that. Okay, I like that.
It's just so far. There's not going to be a double off that. There won't be a double off that, probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, it's so far over there that if they do make something in the middle, we'll never be able to get. Like, can we rip it on the inside? The side one? Can we roll out on the inside?
Probably.
Okay.
Just peel it out, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, even if
Really?
you don't quite roll, it's okay.
Really well thought out here. I would go yellow. If you make it, you're looking pretty darn good.
I think it's
Certainly the
just
corner
a
guard's the problem rock. But what they were saying is they're a little worried about leaving the yellow one in the rings. Because if Team Wood can eliminate the reds down the middle, there probably won't be a double because the yellow one's so far away from the center line. Oh, that has to curl.
And we'll lose it out the back. So Emma Miskew without one of her best.
Yeah, just go straight around. Okay, like 14. Yeah. You got it.
So let's get you caught up. Caitlin Laws, #4 against Reese Hansen. Blank the second. Ashley Thibodeau replies with a single against Sturme. And Gray Withers, the university champion out of the University of Alberta Pandas, gets one against Corinne Brown from Kamloops.
Hard, Rachel. Hard, Rachel. Every inch. Get in here. You got it. Hard. Go. Nice shot. Yeah, okay, you're good.
Well, that's a nice reply, isn't it?
Is it ever?
You know, you see, Kathy, you got the miss
14-8
that you're looking for. Now your chance is there, and they took it.
Well, and you have to capitalize that at any level, and certainly when you're playing a team like Rachel Homan.
Hard, Rachel. Hard, Rachel. Every inch. Get in here. You got it. Hard.
It might have been.
Nice shot. Yeah, okay, you're good.
There's a piece open on that intern side. Rachel's not going to go for it at this point in time.
It's so hard to know what that intern would do out there,
Nope,
Russ.
no kidding. Crack at the double here.
Roller shooter.
Oh. You tried to do that, you'd never make it. That ticks either. If ever it got the top, yellow might have been a triple.
Plant if I lifted.
Oh,
tip
yeah.
off. Just don't know how much we can roll with that release.
You want
Right
less
in-
release?
Right in the middle.
just wanted to know still. No.
9.
Would you like to roll in behind the guard?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, a couple reasons. It gives you a little bit of separation, and this one would be hidden.
Yeah. Throw. 9-2.
Double's possible.
Okay.
They're going for the middle to the side one, Vic, just because it's a better angle. You don't have to throw it nearly as hard. For Tracy to play the middle one to the center line one, she'd have to throw like a 5-6 second hit to throw it hard enough to jump it across.
Whoa.
Picked up early.
Whoa. Girl.
Wilkes now miscue.
Good call, Reach.
And no double, but they'll roll it over and lay it on the corner shot, second shot.
You know, Kathy, they were going the other way on that. That's as much as you'll ever see Tracy Fleury miss the broom.
September.
Yep.
And you know that she knows, because when you're not sure, you go down, you expect her to say to Rachel, is it moving that much or is it not moving? But she just said shoot, so she knows.
Yep. Hard.
Hard, Brenna.
Hard.
Hard, Brenna.
Brenda Malassi.
Hard, Rachel.
Oh, very nice. And she'll roll over on top and just go to the 10 o'clock position.
Good throw.
Enough room there to get them both, you think?
Boy, maybe, Vic, but it's a weird situation because it's so late in the end. You don't have hammer. If Rachel tries to scare that guard and wrecks, she's looking at 4 on her last rock.
What weight would you throw?
Like big peel.
I don't know if it's there.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you can throw normal and it's going to come up.
Yeah.
And then turn off the line. I don't think this is going to go with normal. Okay, just hit. There's space between them. I think that's our only shot, though, so we've got to... If it takes it over, we roll our shooter, it's still good.
That's the problem.
You don't want to throw this double?
What do you think it
Does it jam over there?
Yeah.
Okay. How much weight are you throwing?
Well, I think it's close with peel.
What are you Are you trying to get to know?
Peel.
You know, Kathy, I don't want to
peel?
make too
No.
much of this, but I
Like hit all I can see.
you were with me when we talked to Gabby.
Yeah.
And I think at this point in
Even
time,
if I can
even
hit it
here we
lower,
are in the third, and she probably is saying to Peyton, we got these guys in some trouble. Can you imagine this?
Peel.
They've got to be playing with some kind of a smile right now.
Oh, they're so excited to be a part of this, and to give up the 4 would have been like, oh boy. But in this end, they've absolutely been able to do that. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's
Kathy's given up 4s before, eh? She was very good at
That's why I quit.
Yeah, go the other way.
All right, here we go. Trying to hold it off. Now hold it off that guard. Here we go. High and get them both, and gets the one on the side and gets away with a jam at the back. So very nice. Rachel Homan.
Just ran right through
That is so good. Just to see it, Vic. The guard comes into play if you tried to play it the easier way by
Right
nosing the
through
top
it.
one.
So I
So
just
she
called
said,
the
I'll just go
audible.
tick, tick, knowing it would redirect onto the right-hand one. Special.
I was like, this is not curling. Just go for the double.
Oh, maybe that was a plan B also.
Spot perfect for a triple.
Still a chance here.
Yeah, Gabby Wood still has the guard out in front, covering the 4-foot.
I'm surprised it ran right
Yeah,
there.
it ran very straight.
Down. Line's good.
Close.
Hair tight.
Stay close.
Actually, I think it's okay. I don't know.
Not okay. Top 4.
Yep.
You know, we are the Scotties of the Briar. We always talk about a 50%
Hard line.
hammer efficiency.
Hard. Okay, you're good.
Ah, dear. And around it goes.
Very nice.
Just pops. Just shows a little bit now on that outturn side.
Good. Wait.
It's the combination of the fresh sanding
Brenna
of the
went to, like,
stones
knife
before
it.
the
I was like,
event
stop that.
starts.
Now these stones are Canadian
I know.
Curling Canada stones. They were last used at the New Holland Canadian Juniors in Fort McMurray.
I thought it was too.
This
Hits in the first end,
past.
they were really gradual with normal.
When I
so
say
I think
January,
right where you throw it.
February.
Okay.
Straight through, you think?
Yeah.
Not taking a ton of ice here. That's Rachel's out turn.
Rachel Homan, who won 4 straight games to take home the $50,000 a year ago in Oakville, Ontario. Boy, this is another big scrub now. Got to keep it off the guard. Can you do that? They did. Wow, that's the difference, eh? That front end.
Good.
That had a 50-50 shot at wrecking.
You know, we were saying, Kathy, when we started about the changes among some teams, and Carrie Anderson in particular. You know, with Brianne Harris not there, Shannon Burchard out now with injury. Those two were a front end that everyone wanted to emulate.
Yes.
Now you take them out of the game, and is there a better combination now, right now, than Wilkes and Miskew?
Not that I can think of in Canada for sure.
And through it goes, but Gabby Wood gave a little scare to Rachel Homan. Blank on the board. It remains Homan up by 4. Well, Rachel Homan found herself in a little bit of trouble and needed a good shot to get out of it, as Gabby Wood at this point in time is sitting 2.
Rachel was actually trying to hit this dead on, and it was so dangerous under the situation. You reckon the guard, you might give up as many as 4. It tracked on her because of the rotation. She called the audible. How good was that?
The mark of a Canadian and world champion. The key shot brought to you by BKT Tires, growing together. So that led to the blank as we welcome you back on this opening day of a brand new season of champions. From here at the Winsport Event Center on the grounds of Canada Olympic Park. And once again it is Gabby Wood from Concordia University in Edmonton that does have the last rock. She has the hammer playing the yellow stones and down by 4 in the 4th.
Kathy, you see it all the time where, you know, players move from maybe lead or second to third and they can't call line. Or they move to skip and they can't call line. Yeah, Rachel skipped since what, age 6?
Yeah.
That's how you make shots like that.
You know what? It's you make the decision what you want to play, but to make that audible early enough that you can get the most out of a shot is a skill set that not very many players at the high levels of men or women have. Huge asset.
So you're saying the majority would probably just let the shot finish with its intent, initial intent.
Yeah. Sometimes, or you make the decision too late, Vic, that you don't get either.
All right.
It's a confidence thing, I think, Vic, because you're halfway down, you're hoping you can make it do what it's was supposed to do, but Rachel right away, no, we're going this way. Great call.
It went sideways. When we tapped it in the house, it like...
Top 8. Line's good. Top 12, top 8. Yep. Top 8. Yep.
Really go for line here. The weight's there if they can get it by.
T. Hard line, hard line, hard line. All the way, all the way, all the way. All the way, all the way, all the way. Push it.
Just hide it in behind here.
Yeah, that's good.
Very nice.
It's okay, it's
14-6.
14-6, I think.
For the young skips out there, you know, in this situation, down 4, getting shot rocket being wide open is not the call, and they managed to hide that in behind the corner. That was the plan.
Yeah, that's good.
If they can get at the Holman rock later, there's a chance for 2.
Now rip that guard. Okay, let's continue with our updates. Corinne Brown, number 8, Kamloops, against Serena Gray Withers, who is the University Women's Champion. out of the University of Alberta.
Serena and Taft try to run back on her first, just peeled the guard. It was replaced. It is shot stone for Brown, right on the lid, trying to move it.
Oh, goodness.
Nice shot.
But will roll too far.
All right.
And there's your steal. Great effort.
Awesome.
2-1.
High. Low. Make sure it's a 2. Move it.
Another guard here that's really curling early.
You're good. Whoa, you're good.
With the amount of curl here, Team Homan could get at that yellow one for sure. But there's no hurry yet. You got to look at where you are in the end. There's still 4 rocks to go here.
Whoa. No, I don't. It's.
I've got to think, though, and we've
Compared
often
to, like, the
talked
first
over
and
the
the
years. You've got the other team chasing you. So if you are, in fact, Gabby Wood, aren't you happy right now, Kathy?
You are. You're still looking at the scoreboard, and you've got some work. So even though your opponent is maybe chasing you a little bit, I still feel like it's very hard to put the blinders on and ignore the 4 on the board, but they will try.
All right. We've often said then, Russ, you don't always try to get it back all at once.
Right.
So can we say that Wood would not be satisfied with anything less than 2?
That's just it.
Yeah.
Two's the name of the game here now.
Gee, mid-season form.
Yeah,
if I do say that.
Yeah, I think
Which means you're only going down from here.
Yeah.
This should run pretty
That was-
straight out here.
corner guard there came in a little deep, but it snuck into a pretty nasty position for Homan to deal with.
Easy field.
Whoa.
Again, skipping for a long period of time makes an awfully big difference. This nice call here. You kill this one. Yes, Team Wood's shot rock, but what do they do?
Good shot, Tracy.
It's fairly early in the end yet. Do you split the rings? Hope Homan doesn't make a double. Do you go after that
You could come around. Yeah, you got.
Homan stone, which is really hard to hit and stay?
Okay, so just a little bit more.
Good call. Be tough to sit too, Kath. If you were Wood hitting that red one.
It would be tough. The odds that you might tick your own or roll too far. And I really like this call, trying to take advantage of that stagger. And that shows why this team did as well as they did.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Short. This is short. Just keep going. Yep. Yeah, Rachel. Hard. Deep as you can. Deep as you can. Deep as you can. It's fine.
Uh-oh.
Wow. Whatever. 14 and a half.
Line would have been fine with
Just
another 4
down?
feet of weight.
Yeah, this is probably worth
Doubles there all day, and you can make it off the back one if you have
I
to.
can do anything, right?
Yeah. Kick.
Thin on the top yellow. Redirect onto the one that was just thrown, or hit it right where Tracy's broom is. And the shooter would kick left and kill both yellow.
You're about to get blown out. My bad. Sorry. No, it's not your fault.
Rachel was telling Kathy and me that it was a bit of a chaotic summer with with her 3 children now, 4, 2, and 14 months, and they did a lot of camping up in Kelowna a couple of times.
It curled up half a rock. Yeah, we did hold it though. Okay.
How are you throwing it?
Straight through.
Big
Hard,
field.
hard.
Yeah. Big
Hard.
field. Yeah.
Hard.
Miscue.
Hard.
Staying with it.
Hard.
1-2. Oh, very nice. Very, very nice.
I would argue Rachel wasn't even happy with that throw and still made the double.
Didn't give me enough release.
Okay, this is one of these times I'm thinking. Scoreboard dictate this upcoming call because you've got a little bit of a stagger here. And the top of the 12, is this an automatic to go around, or would you have played If the scoreboard was a little different, would you play for the blank?
Yeah, exactly. If it's close, you're tied, you've got control, you'd play the blank for sure. And it's an easy blank, he knows that. They both go quite easily, but this is the last opportunity to get your 2, and they need 2.
And that's why you saw Rachel not looking particularly happy after she threw because of that stagger. You're giving your opponent another opportunity to wrap behind.
Taking a hair more ice now. It should be plenty of ice if you get the weight right.
Little tight.
Close. More than pages.
Yes, if you can. Backboard. Back each. Stay close.
Balassi on the right, and Rachel Jost.
Yep.
Boy, it's going to be a scrub to get it by here as it breaks towards those guards, or those stones staggered. Gets it by. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice as she'll wrap it around and now sits covered. Back 8.
The perfect world. They did get by with a little bit of extra, so they could have got off that a little sooner. They basically brushed it right to the tee line.
Yep.
That could be problematic if Rachel locks one in here.
Good girl.
Nice shot, though, just the same.
Good throw.
14-1.
I just told you to. Like, come here, girl.
This draw weight's the secret to Team Homan, in my opinion. Tracy's one of the best in the world. Last year, Rachel was one of the best in the world.
Shot was so good, almost knocked her off her feet.
With a little less extension than you do, so we're thinking just
15 would be close.
But you're,
14.5.
you know, it's one of those little things, Kathy, and Russ just mentioned it. You take that stone and you move it up, and this shot isn't there.
No, for sure.
So many things to think about.
I don't think so.
Final stone for Rachel Homan, as Gabby Wood has one buried.
Hard line. Hard line.
Wilkes got to go now for weight, trying to drag it down, lay it on the corner. And they won't get to the corner, but they are the shot stone.
That was all me helping you.
Back to what we talked about, Vic. Now, how do you get that red rock because of what Team Wood just did? They just overbrushed that a little bit. If that yellow, you know, we're splitting hairs. There was a wonderful come around. They buried it. But if it had been there, how does Rachel get shot rock?
I liked how your hand. I never thought to make it back to that.
Red one?
Well, no, like for backing.
If you need to,
Yeah.
probably. Okay. Similar weight.
I heard the word backing, and that always scares me, Kathy.
Yeah, you just don't want to be thinking about that. In fact, there's lots of room to draw to the 4 foot that doesn't get anywhere near those stones.
Be all you.
Good piece of the 4 foot is
Mine's
what she
good.
needs.
Curling up.
Gabby Wood.
Make sure you're here.
Oh, here, and you're going to lead it. Looks like it's running out of steam.
It does too. Out wider. Yeah.
And it does. And so that opportunity to pick up one will result in a steal of one for Rachel Homan. Final stone. Looking to get that rock sitting edge to the 4 foot. Negavan. Get it back. Boom. Oh, how do you like that? For 3 to tie and force a draw to the button for the big money.
You're fine, clean.
You're fine. My goodness. Who would have thought that? This is his 3rd out-turn draw.
Line's good, a little bit of room.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. And finally settles down. And Carruthers, for a 2nd straight year, will win the PointsBet Invitational. And that was a 2nd straight win for Reed Carruthers. As you take a look at the field, headed by Brad Gouju, the reigning Canadian champion, world silver medalist. Brad Jacobs, of course, with a new team. You saw him with McEwen or with Carruthers last year winning, but of course now he is picked up for Brendan Botcher and skips the team of Kennedy, Gallant, and Hebert. And we will have their first half of the draw when we join you tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And our featured game tonight will be Matt Dunstone, who we just watched lose that final as he goes against the under 25 next generation champion. Jordan McDonald and his team out of the Assiniboine in Winnipeg is a real up-and-comer.
For sure. Good start to their season already. Gabby made a beauty on her first one to put Rachel under pressure, but once Rachel locked one on there, Gabby was forced into a little new piece of ice. She threw all kinds of weight out of her hand. The brushers loved it, but she just did the fresh stuff out a little wider with a bit of frost, and it cost them.
Start ripping. Let's get their own corners.
Yeah.
So Brendan Botcher not on the ice here, but he is coaching, and with his leaving the team, he has will continue now to coach this team as he takes over for Don Bartlett, and he will also play mixed doubles with Rachel Homan.
Great sweep, Sarah. Nice shot.
Still was a shock to many people, Kathy.
Yeah, I think that, you know, we're seeing more and more of these business decisions. And last year, Brendan Botcher had a spot in the trials and in the Brier. And the other three decided that Rod Jacobs would improve their odds, they believe, to get to the Olympics. And so Brendan found himself without a team, and it's a big business now, this curling.
I'd like to feel this one.
He's at 4 Brier finals in a row, won one of them.
Yeah.
No, he's coaching.
They can grab the button.
What a mixed doubles team, though, Kathy.
Oh, so strong. so strong.
If you like the peel, it's fine. Well, I just doesn't look.
What do you like, Tracy?
50-50.
You just threw the draw.
Okay.
I like it. It's a bit wider.
Okay.
I really like this call. It's when you're trying to teach strategy, when it's on a scoreboard, it's on a piece of paper, it's just so subjective, and it's, you know, well, if you do this, I'm playing the triple. If you do this, I'm freezing. So people tend to have a plan before the end starts. Now, Rachel was going to keep it fairly simple, but because that last rock dropped short, Kathy, there's 3 yellow guards that could hurt Rachel. But when they're guarding the 2 that are in the perfect spot, she's changed gears, gone to the offense here, and Team Wood's got a lot to clean up down the center.
Well, and it is so messy, and you think that's great for the team that is behind, and it is unless there's a couple behind those stones that belong to your opponent.
You're right.
Should I get one
Yeah.
here?
But I like the switch for sure. You've
Absolutely.
got that stuff in play. Just go hard now.
Very few teams would do. As a matter of fact, Rachel would not have done that 4, 5, 6 years ago. Love the call. You see what Woods thinks of the call.
I like the breeze.
Yep.
This is, you've got to make 4 or 5 unbelievable finesse shots to get out of this mess, or risk giving up at least one more.
Sweet's better. Yep. Top E.
Brenna Balassi, who is graduating this year, so this will be her last time playing with this team. One of the things that Gabby Wood was saying to us before, it's a great way for her to leave the game, and crashes on that guard.
She's just not quite getting them out. Okay.
It's what we feared. I feared for this team before the game started. You heard them say they're not quite getting it out there. When you're following Rachel Homan, you need to take way more ice than they do, number one. And it's just, as we said, just a little dusting of frost is slowing those wide come-arounds down enough that that's 3 in a row they've missed light.
And 2 have been swept, so I would say, and I did get out, and it finishes nice at the end.
Okay, so low 14, Trace. You got it.
Tracy can, the professional error here would be short. But if they can get the line right, sink this right into the top 8, 4 rocks buried.
8. We're tapping them in. Yeah, I don't know what to do.
Are we still high?
Yeah. We're tapping them in the pocket.
And tap them in they do, and not quite into the pocket as Homan continues to sit 3.
13-3.
Yeah.
All right, update time, long time. Caitlin Laws against Reese Hansen, Taylor Reese Hansen.
And she's being forced in this, and Taylor Reese Hansen hit to lie 2. This is not the double attempt. Caitlin just trying to hit and stick to score the single.
Easy, easy, easy. Clean. Oh. You can clean it. Oh, whoa. I need a little more over here. Good. Yeah.
And that is good for a single for Laws. Number 4
Almost got to tickle it.
seed against the number 13, the under 25 next generation champion, Taylor Reese Hansen.
You know, Russ, if they sweep that at all, she moves the other stone out for 2.
Wasn't far off, was it?
Mine's good.
Back.
I say that.
Yep.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Yep.
Hard Brenna. Hard Brenna. Hard Brenna. Gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go.
Forward.
Gets a little dip.
Forward.
Okay. Good try. 13-9.
Yeah. It was good.
Just more ice.
Yeah.
I have 2/3.
Selena Sturme is the reigning Alberta champion. That's how she qualified against the number 12 Canadian ranked team of Ashley Teano.
And Ashley trying to play the run back after Selena Sturme buried on her final stone. If she can, it is for 2. And there it is for 2.
Very nice.
Gets her a little closer. Sturme continues to lead by 1. Tracy Fleury.
Hard. Yeah. Whoa. Weight's good. Weight's good.
Oh boy, this is perfect. Get a little inside flop here.
There's the flop. Inside it goes. And just enough to do the job and push that stone through.
It's definitely frosting up here. They thought they had this. It was like whoa, whoa, and then bang, it went.
Solid hand. Really gotta go, Em. Really gotta go.
Oh, look at this. So all you've got left now is to try and draw something to the back behind that pile.
They weren't playing it that cute, Vic. That grabbed some frost. Off the good leave, though.
That enough ice, you think, Kathy?
It's not about where the broom is as much as what the throw looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Yep. Hard.
With that less rotation, softer release,
It's
these are breaking.
warp.
Yeah, they're breaking early, Kath.
Yeah. It's okay.
Now you put that broom in the same spot, Vic, and you have someone on Rachel Homan's team throw with a set and rotation. It's plenty
You
of
thought
ice.
more
Exactly.
out of my hand too, right?
Yeah, well said, Kathy. This is big trouble.
And Corinne Brown with a steal of 1 in the 3rd, and now a steal of 3 in the 4th to break it open. Corinne Brown, number 8 seed.
And Serena Gray Withers has just faced so many rocks in play. Degree of difficulty has been high, tried to navigate a port and just ticked a stone, and that was the steal, and lots of work to do now.
As there is here.
The B of PointsBet, that rock. We could try to make it.
Think of it, Vic. You could, Rachel could take a couple rocks off and still have them in trouble here.
Are you gonna throw it? Okay.
There's nothing on the in-turn. The run back does not get you shot rock. And there's nothing on the outturn.
Is she coming in again, do you think?
I got light. Go.
Or is she going to leave it high
I
to
think
block the
they're,
path?
they are going right in, but the audible's short.
Whoa. Tons are in. 6.
Should die out here.
Lots of room. Yeah, it's close. Keep going. Yeah. Line's good. 3, 4.
Hard. Looks like it's dying.
Yep. Far as you can. Yep.
Are we?
Keep going for me. Yep.
And staying with it, and not quite there, so sitting the 4. But the path may be a little bit wider if you're going to go with that outturn.
Yeah, no kidding.
But there's to your point, Kathy. You know, there's
And then it just died the whole way.
that stone may have been dying, but it had extra life because of the handle.
Absolutely.
So you probably pick these two, or play this.
I feel like this, because even if we, well, as long as we hit anything, we might actually.
Yeah.
have
Are you
something.
wanting to run it onto this one or that one?
That one I was thinking.
Oh, and try and do this?
Yeah.
That is hard.
Okay.
I think you're just gonna run this straight out. Like you might
Yeah.
run it to push this to here.
So what do you think?
If you want to try it, we can. Like there's not really much.
Because I was thinking if we could even like
bump this one a little bit, then we might have something.
Yeah, like if you wiggle this a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Ugh. There's so many rocks here.
I don't think I've ever said this, but I don't think they can score, and they've got 2 rocks left. It's
And then that one onto the center yellow.
maybe onto there,
Okay.
and if you get it onto there, that goes, and you open up a little bit of a lane down the middle, but your shooter
Because like the
will
draw is there, but also
still be out here somewhere causing a problem, and of course Rachel's got another rock. But you can't play that wide out turn, Vic. A difficulty, and it just will never curl in enough to get shot rock.
Well, she just said, Kathy, she did give it a consideration, but she doesn't think she can make it.
Well, and that's the thing. You can line shots up, but if you're not going to make them and it's out of your wheelhouse, there's no point throwing them.
And that probably kills any chance of the other.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, this is not good. It all started because of the score. They tried to play a come around rock 3, got out in the frost, it died.
It's there to get like
Rachel
limit
changed
Yeah.
strategy.
Honestly, if you were what turn do you want? Yep.
So, listening to Peyton Sonnenberg III, maybe they will have to try it, that wide out turn, as she said, just to limit the damage, Kathy.
Well, you start to look at that. Are you going to get to the lid?
Like it's tricky. Like
No, you're not. And so it's about managing what you can do.
Right now, you could probably play a wide in turn for Gabby and catch the corner of the forefoot to give up a steal of 1, which would be best shot I've seen this year.
What do you think of
That's what Rachel's taking away. They're going to throw an out turn guard, cross the center line, take away that wide in turn.
Little late. 2.5. Okay, make it a 3.
How's
I think
line?
you can go. Mine's good.
Make sure it's 3.
2.
Line's good. Sweet for tight.
Yeah, line.
Line's good.
Yeah, line.
Yep, tighter.
2.
Yeah, bring it further.
2. Yep.
Going. Keep
Finish
going.
him. Finish.
Going. Good spot.
Okay.
Good.
6 1/4 rotations for Rachel on a guard. If it had made it to the rings, it would have had more time to spin. That's, I would suggest, if I was cheering for Rachel Homan, I'd want the ice to be exactly like this, Vic. She can throw it hard enough that the hits are still running true.
Okay.
And that extra spin
Yeah,
that
it's either
all
that or
4 of
come
them
this way
throw,
and try and,
it's
like, get
so much more manageable for the brushers.
I know it's a wall. Yeah, I don't know if you think it's there,
We
but
could also.
Brenna, do you think this is here? Like if you came like this?
Yeah, I was thinking that or the
Yeah.
in-turn draw. I don't know if to get to.
The intern draw's not the worst.
Yeah,
Get
it's
to
not
back
the worst.
4.
Like, you can definitely get to here.
Yeah, try that.
Is that enough ice?
I don't know if that's
wanna,
enough
like,
ice.
run into
Doesn't
that
this
guard.
surprise you,
Yeah,
this
drive to, like, the
this
side of
turn,
the-
this shot?
No, not actually. It's because
Okay.
it's the only way you're going to get there, and it's almost impossible. And I'm pretty sure you'll never get shot rock. But if you ever get it in there somehow to cut them down to 1,
4'1", then at least it's only 2.
I don't see anything else, Vic. The multiple yellows are all staggered. You could bounce a bit of furniture around, but you're still going to give up 2 or 3.
I think it's gonna be frosty out here either way, though.
But this
The
side is
wide
much straighter
out
than
turn's
the
just
other
too
side.
wide.
Just don't go full
So at least their edge of 12, which is a fairly
have to get it
manageable
back.
speed-wise.
You need like a 13.5, 13.
Remember Tracy just threw one here, and it wrecked on the guard that she was trying to miss.
Final stone and facing 4.
Line's close.
Homan right now looking to crack another 4.
Line's
Scored it
good.
in the second.
Stay with
Yeah.
it. It's going to die.
Line.
Has it got enough? The handle looks better,
Oh, good.
and it is going to die in front. 1, 2, 3, and 4. A second 4 on the board. Homan against Gabby Wood.
The 2024 PointsBet Invitational is brought to you in part by Home Hardware. Here's how. By Scotties, Canada's #1 facial tissue brand. By BKT Tires, growing together. And by Montana's Barbecue and Bar, Canada's home for barbecue.
number one in Canada, number one in the world, and Rachel Homan in game one here at the PointsBet Invitational as they're at the break. And they do have a 9-0 lead with that big four in the first, and then really catching the young Gabby Wood team from Edmonton on her ice reading and the rotation, particularly on arena ice. And you can see now out curling the team 82-85. The player numbers, team comparisons brought to you by New Holland, proud sponsor of Curling Canada. When we come back, as Gabby talks with her coach, we'll make a move over and check in on the game between Selena Sturme and Ashley Teano here at the PointsBet Invitational. The Bow River starts in the Rockies and about 120 kilometers in length by the time it gets down to Calgary, and is one of the very top fishing places. They come from all over the world to fish the Bow, particularly the anglers looking for trout. Let's get you caught up, Kathy, on the other scores, please.
Well, you can see that Caitlin Laws has the lead. It really was the first and scoring deuce. It's the only deuce in that game so far. Rachel Homan dominant for sure. Selena Sturme, that's the game that we're going to. Teano getting that deuce back. Could have been 3. They had a touchstone, and that really impacted the end. And it has been so much trouble for Grey Withers in that game against Corinne Brown with the 5-2 score for Corinne Brown.
So here at the Winsport Event Center, we do make the move across to Sheet B. And it is Selena Sturme out of the Saville Community Sports Center in Edmonton, who is the reigning Alberta champion, and that got her the invitation to play in the PointsBet against Ashley Teano out of the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon, who takes over the team one skip by Skylar Ackerman, the reigning Saskatchewan champions. They went 4-4 a year ago here in the event center at the Scotties.
Yeah, that's fine. 3-6.
And it is Sturme who has the last rock, playing the Red Stones here in 6 and leading by 1.
Well, just clean. Just clean.
Desiree Haas, who now makes her home in Calgary, was of course playing at one point in time with Corinne Brown, who is on the ice and out of Kamloops, but has now playing with Sturme.
So much shuffling this year, Vic. It's just,
yeah,
it's incredible. Probably blame Homan for that, I guess. You know, if you want to be the best, you've got to get the best lineup you can possibly ice.
Okay, over and off.
That's going to overcurl and leave a double
We're really
here.
overcurling here, so
If this keeps traveling.
really high. Yeah, that's fine. Just
Teano is
kinda
number 12 in the Canadian team ranking points, so she's the 12th seed here, and Sturme is number 5. There she is.
in turn. Who's your own peel? Okay. You got it.
Made the playoffs a year ago here at the Scotties, going 8-3.
Yep. Yep. Hard. 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 Hard.
And we'll crack them both.
Another guard, where we talked about it in our game, that the lighter you throw those rocks, they're going to break sooner. And with this much finish, the guard's a waste of time there now, and a nice double changes this end right around.
Brittany Tran with the retirement of Ackerman. Teano moves up, and they've brought in Brittany Tran, former world junior gold medalist with Jocelyn Peterman.
This big.
and has been to 3 different Scotties.
9.
And has been really almost a gun for hire. She played out up with Galusha in the Northwest Territories and Beth Peterson. And now with, she played with Skurlik. And now with Teano.
Probably the end. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think compared to my draw to the button, you want similar for here? I was a 13-9.
Their 3-5 was top 12.
Their 3-5 was top 12. Okay, so probably closer to 13 then. A little more than draw the button. It still feels probably the same underfoot, hey? Okay.
13 seconds. You normally see 14 and plus for sure, as high as 15, 15 and a half in some events. So the frost is making a difference here. Maybe 6-8 feet slower than I would say draw to the button practice time.
Room. Curl. 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 Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Danielle Schmiemann.
I didn't get it.
The assumption that was on the broom is much too much ice. A good foot less ice needed to get hidden behind that corner.
Danielle is a former Canadian and World Junior Champion with Kelsey Rock.
Easy. Easy. Curl. 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 Hard. Hard.
9-5.
Can I give you a little bit less? Okay.
Yeah, they're going to cut the ice down here.
Do you want a little bit less weight? A little less? Okay. Okay. Should give me a little bit less ice too. Okay.
I thought that was max.
You still got room on this line.
Still a bit of room. Still a bit of room.
Line's better though. Curl. Curl.
Don't want this too deep. They're trying to get
Curl.
it to finish. Want to keep it top
Curl.
four-ish.
Curl, curl, curl. Whoa, whoa.
And just gets to start nibbling at the top 4 in behind that longer guard.
Really good positioning. You know, to score the way it is, you did not want to slide behind the tee line.
Yes.
Wonderful opportunity to get your 2 here.
She had her quite the run with Kelsey Rock, did Schmiemann. Mentioned the World Junior Championships. They also won a U-Sport gold out of the University of Alberta. The resumes now today, Kathy, include all those kind of things. Even, you know, the Canada Winter Games. It's just another place to learn in competition.
Anything that you get to play in on arena ice gives you opportunities and to play at a higher level. I love the U25 that Curling Canada has in place, because it's now a U20 when you're in juniors, and the gap between coming out at 21 years of age and men's and women's can be so daunting. A lot of people just disappear from the game. But now if you're playing in the U25, it's a great transition, and we will see the U25 men's team in Jordan McDonald tonight. He is really a force to be reckoned with. It's awesome to watch.
And on the ice, the under-25 champion in this one is Taylor Reese-Hansen out of Victoria, currently down 3-1 to Caitlin Lodge.
That's good.
10-8.
Really good throw. You know, it just didn't look all that exciting, but rolling it basically in front of that back red one is causes a problem, because if you hit this dead on, you could jam it. You hit it low side, you could roll out, and there will probably be a red double.
Yeah, I threw the one a couple ends ago.
I think it should curl.
Okay. Okay.
Try to roll buried, you're behind the tee line, which is dangerous too. It's just hit and stay right there and hope the double's not made.
This is the third appearance for Sturme at the PointsBet. In 22 She won
9-5.
over
Okay,
Chelsea
like a big
Carey
goal.
in the Sweep
Over
16 and then lost last year to Jen Jones in the Elite 8. Has played a couple of events so far this year. Went 3-2 at the Saville Shootout, an early event in Edmonton, and then lost in the semifinal to Unji Kim
Whoa! Curl!
of Korea. That was a couple of weeks ago in Beaumont, Alberta.
Curl! Curl! Whoa! Straight! Straight! Straight!
Roll it right over.
Go, Paige! Go, Paige! Hard! Right over! Hard!
Good. Good.
Well thought out, Beck. They didn't really want to roll that far, but once they decided to see the roll, they got it in past that yellow guard, because if they ever leave that behind that guard, a freeze is made. You can't throw any weight at it.
I was like, it will curl. 10-5. It's a little flop underneath.
Teano has played a couple of events so far this year. They won the what they call the Icebreaker in Morris, Manitoba, with a win over Kayla Skurlik, and then they lost the final of an event in Sutherland, Saskatchewan, to Cheryl Lee Orsted.
Clean! Clean! Yeah!
Is there a rhyme or reason, Kathy, do you think, to events that you play early in the season?
Sometimes it's just pure availability. There's not always a ton of events. Sometimes it's based on where people live, and so access to that.
10-3.
The Morris Icebreaker is something that's been run in Manitoba for many, many years. Some of the teams will train in the off-season there because there is ice availability where there isn't, and so it may be just a comfort with knowing that the ice has been there for a while. That can drive it.
And it doesn't hurt to have a few dollars in your pocket early.
Yeah, you got that right. Yeah, no question.
10-5.
We were talking in the drive
Here's
over.
what
Sometimes,
She threw a 10-9.
I mean, before the age of real sponsorship, I think you sometimes based your year on the amount of money you won. So if you won, let's just say, a couple of $1,000, that opened the door. Well, maybe we can travel a little further.
Go to another one. Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of costs. It's a big country, a lot of travel expenses.
Clean!
You've got to make that decision how much you want to put into it.
Final stone. Here in 6, Sturme.
Clean! Clean!
No. 10-5.
And that will be for a couple more. So the reigning Alberta champion stretches her lead. It's a wonderful facility, the Winsport Event Center, the western home of Hockey Canada as well, and our home again. What memories we made last year here at the Scotties. On day one of the PointsBet Invitational, first half of the women's draw, 16 teams. We started the day with Rachel Homan, #1 Canada, #1 world, against Gabby Wood, the Canadian college champion. Now turned her attention to Selena Sturme, the reigning Alberta champion from Edmonton, against Ashley Teano, out of Teano in Saskatoon. Sturme putting 2 on the board in the 6th. We pick up play now in 7. Teano, the #12 seed with Last Rock, has the hammer, playing the Yellowstones.
Nice come around from Kaylin there. Just 3/4 buried, but it's nice high in the rings. It's a good spot. Tough to chase.
Quite tight. I think if you slip in, that's probably okay.
It's always tricky, Kathy, with that 5 rock roll. You could chase that with a 3-point lead, but if you tick the guard,
Yeah. There's your deuce.
guard has to go back.
Got room right now.
Up there.
Gonna have to finish at the end.
Be close then.
Curl. Curl.
Weight's fine. Top 12 tight.
Curl.
Top 12.
Gotta curl.
Tight.
Gotta curl.
Top 12. Top 12.
Hard curl. Keep going. Go, Paige. Go, Paige. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Okay.
It's about 4-7.
It looks like she's not giving.
I think easy or peel.
the doubles, the initial reaction, Vic, because then if you make it, you sit 2, but it's so early. You could freeze one in there. You need some points here. To be careful throwing big weight on shots. You know, you start rolling out, and there goes your 2. So.
Taylor Sturme throwing the second stones.
Whoa. Whoa.
At the University of Saskatchewan, studying for her master's in education. And we'll back it up.
I know.
Just maybe avoids the stagger, but it.
Really back.
He's covered the shot rock now, top edge of the 4.
Now, if they can go for that buried one, if they wreck on the guard doesn't come back.
You need less? I think it should curl.
Yeah.
Didn't love that play. It was the obvious one, but just, give Sturme 4 or 5 shots to get rid of the situation.
Wait, clean. Yep. Whoa. Curl.
Let's jump in the game between Corinne Brown, number 8, out of Kamloops, against number 9, Serena Gray Withers, who is the reigning U Sport champion.
And this has been a game that Serena Gray Withers scored one last stand, and it has been a huge momentum shift. She made a lovely soft weight hit and roll on her first. Corinne removed the guard, and on her second, that is the stone biting the 8-foot that Serena threw. Corinne was very focused on wanting to play the draw. They looked at the hits because of the score, but this is a bit of an all or nothing shot. Needs to find the tee line, biting the button, to concede one and to tap it to score.
Brown and her team from Kamloops, Sharon Pincott holding the brush, Samantha Fisher and Dr. Sarah Colton on the brush. Where's she going to go with this? Got enough? Oh, Doctor.
That's really close. Great shot.
That is something.
Either way, it was a great shot.
You know, this Gray Withers team from the University of Alberta, the Pandas, what a program. They've called for a measure. As we go back to Selena Sturme, she too is a 2-time U Sport champion out of University of Alberta. It is dominant, truly dominant in the world of university curling. Certainly in the men's side of things, I would, yes, University of Alberta, but tonight we'll see Matt Dunstone, didn't he? Off top of my head, I think he's a Manitoba gold medalist U Sport.
He is, and unfortunately that was the last year the University of Manitoba recognized curling. You can no longer curl out of the University of Manitoba.
9-7.
Awkwardest.
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one to measure for sure.
Mentioned at second for Brown is Sarah Colton, Dr. Sarah Colton. You remember she played many years, 6 Scotties with Kerry Galusha, and with Galusha stepping back from the game. When we were in Kamloops 2 years back, she actually and 1 yellow it is. What a great draw by Brown. She actually had her interview for an internship at the Kamloops Hospital, and when she went there, Brown said, "Hey, I want to play for me." Yeah, so that's why Sarah Colton is now with Corinne Brown out of Kamloops.
It's tough not to kill her on red.
She's kind of like getting hooky with. I believe.
I was gonna say, do we ever hit the side one and roll in?
If you like it, I like it.
I think I like that better.
Okay.
Yeah, they got, at least they have to move.
I was thinking firm.
Firm, yeah. Selena's curled at the very end out here. She was a little bit aggressive, yeah.
This is a educated guess at best. Not taking much ice. It has to slow down out here. You'd have to think it'll curl a bit.
Whoa, whoa.
She got her way out to the broom, maybe wider.
Whoa, 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 whoa. It's trying. Good.
That curled hard, hog line.
9-2.
Good shot.
It looks like it comes in so light. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Light shooter.
Same weight.
Same weight.
She wanted. Okay. But a little bit more then.
Yep. Really
Ricky
hard.
Tran.
Hard.
Running
hard.
back their own, Kathy?
Curl,
assuming?
curl.
Strange call.
And we'll drive it by and now roll over and create a little stagger.
The problem with a run back and when there's this much curl is it's tough.
Yeah.
And, you can chip out your own, which they did. But now look what's happened. It's rolled over, staggered those rocks.
Yeah, I think so. That's max, but I can go.
Could have easily hit the, played the red double or drawn in. Or,
Played the tap.
Yep, yeah, for sure.
Full 8 if line's good, we're edge on edge.
It's an all or nothing, that one.
Quite a bit less.
The Christmas trees.
Like a
double up on it.
start crossing.
Do you want to tuck just a little piece and maybe leave it higher in top 8 area?
Well, yes, yeah. I think you have to bury a bit, and maybe that way you can get a jam out of that one that's back 4 buried. But you
Can go, line's good.
you can't be deep.
Hard then.
Skip Stones here in 7. Selena Sturme.
Yep, line. Hard. Whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa.
keep going.
No.
Heard them yell "whoa" at the end.
14-3.
Didn't have to fully bury it, to your point, Vic. Now there's a freeze opportunity. Really good shot, but if that was 5 inches to the right, it's a hit that's coming down here now. And now a snuggle one in frozen.
I think
It's a
just
problem for
pressure,
Sturme.
when it's crushing across.
Big curl hog line in, Kathy.
I think the
Just about everywhere.
Everywhere, and I'm really starting to see outside in rocks coming short
Yeah.
and short and
Yeah.
short. So needing to be alert at the changing conditions for sure.
It's a way different perspective when you're not playing. When you've got your coach or a fan or us, you can get more.
See that happening.
Yeah, you can get more information, and everybody's across the board here coming up light out wide. Chance to set up a Skip's deuce here with a nice freeze.
Line's good.
Ashley Teveno
Yeah, line a bit.
and her first, the former Saskatchewan junior champion of 2020. Skinner and Stremick. Oh, maybe just it'll sit right there. Not quite shot stone. May not even be second shot.
That's huge. If it was second shot, they'd probably deal with it. Now they can just throw a cap on it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it is second,
No,
does it?
No.
Just bite center. Just bite center. Okay. Turn. Yeah, I like that. Full 12, hey?
Yep.
Okay.
If you're tight, that's the miss.
Okay.
Got to be careful with this guard. Guards are usually pretty easy, but in this surface, they've all been over curling so far. That would leave that type of shot roll in. You could actually maybe split them for 2 if you threw it hard enough. So you have to take enough ice here. Take away the center line.
Kind of hoping to give you like 60 less.
Don't let this over curl. We've seen a pile in both games of over curls on guards. Oh, nice rotation. Got it out there.
Okay. Well,
Caitlin Law's up by 3-1 against Taylor Reese Hansen out of Victoria, and Hansen facing a couple.
Well, and she needs to figure draw weight in this path. I just talked about how it's getting patchier. That yellow stone that is beside the one on the center line was Taylor's first draw, was trying to bury to the 4-foot to outcount the Caitlin Law's stones. Came well short, so Caitlin wrapped around If she comes right to the face of Caitlin Stone, she will not be shot, so she does need to find the tee line, 4-foot.
No line, no line.
Out of the Victoria Curling Club, Taylor Reese Hansen, number 43 in the Canadian rankings, is the under 25 next generation champion.
Yeah, this is like a wide hard. Good Tay.
Okay, I'll just pick. Okay.
Wow, that's a wonderful draw to pick up a single.
Well, that was interesting.
Need a wonderful one here too, Vic. It's out wide enough that it's probably in
Line's
that
good.
4 to 6 feet slower area.
Wait only. Hanging out there a bit.
Facing a couple here is
Easy for line.
Sturme sits 2. Ashley Teano. Get off that guard first. Get off that guard first. Oh, it may have just touched it. And did they get a break? And it'll spin up and be close for second. It's a steal of 1, though, for Sturme for sure.
That's one, I think, Vic. They got away with it there. It actually ticked the guard, but so thin that it didn't slow it down much.
Great weight. Yeah. Feel like I might measure. Okay.
And they've called for a measure.
Oh my god. That was something. Good sweep. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Started to carve it hog line in because it wasn't curling. Just got enough curl to keep it alive.
And it took the handle off it.
Was the weight close?
Well,
It looked like it would have been heavy.
with how many rocks it hit.
1 point is secured. We're measuring for 2. Yeah.
Well, Sturme, the Alberta champion, looking very sharp here in this first game of the PointsBet. As we go from the Sturme Stone.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Just past the 5.
Now to Teano.
I thought it was yellow.
And there you go.
1-9.
Steal of 1. Sturme now up by 4. We are in Calgary, which has recently been named the 3rd most livable city in the world. Vienna was number 1, Copenhagen 2, and Calgary tied with Zurich on its stability, healthcare, culture, environment, education, and infrastructure.
It's a great spot.
And the mountains are just there. 45-minute drive. We are back with you as we continue with our season of champions. We'll be in Thunder Bay for this year's Scotties, and then on to Kelowna for the Montana Brier. The Women's Worlds will be in Uijeongbu in Korea, and then we'll wind it up with a stop in Moose Jaw for the BKT Tires World Men's Championship. That is our season of champions when we join you again in mid-February. But we kick it off with this, the 3rd annual PointsBet Invitational here in Calgary and Winsport Event Center on the grounds of the Canada Olympic Park. Their measurement resulted in a steal of 1 for Selena Sturme to increase her lead now to 7-3. We go to the 8th, and Ashley Teano from the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon once again does have last rock. She has the hammer playing the red stones. This is Desiree Haas throwing the second rocks for Sturme.
Hard! 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 Gotta go! Hard! Hard! Sit. Sit.
There's a situation I alluded to last, and they elected not to chase the buried rock because they didn't want to hit the corner guard and have it go back like it is now. Remember, you can't hit it till that 6th rock. Just caught to the foam, so it gets to be replaced. Something to work with now for the team that needs some points.
Make sure you
Threw a lot of weight at that come around tap, Kathy. You could almost take the guard out of play on ice like this if you just threw that, hack weight.
Almost wondering if it's because the ice conditions are changing a bit that the tendency is to just throw a little bit more to put it there instead of having things swept there.
I used to do that a lot. You're in the hack, you look at all that frost, and then you just decide to throw it harder.
Close. Whoa, curl.
But again, we should say, and we have in the past, that what you see and you think is frost may not be unless it comes above the pebble, correct?
Well said.
So, your mind's eye is playing a game.
It can. And sometimes there is enough frost to make the difference, but you're right. Generally, it's out wide, maybe it looks to me like about 18 inches to 2 feet from the boards, where it's a little treacherous.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
And part of it too is that they haven't played a lot. So there's a great example of, you can see even 1.5 feet in, there's not a lot of traction. You can see the conditions on the surface, but it doesn't mean that the rocks will run any different, but it can get very slippery underfoot and you can start to lose your grip. And so that gets in your head thinking you have to throw more, and you don't always.
Do you need to be reminded then, Kathy, as a player? Because you see it and it may scare you, and somebody has to say, no.
I think it's a really great observation, Vic, and it's something at the break between ends that teams should talk about. We're starting to see that, but I'm not feeling it is any different. I don't think we have to throw any harder. We have to have more rotation, but let's just keep talking and see when we start to feel that there's an effect.
Kathy was a front-end curler, so you did have to remind her quite a bit.
Jeez.
Wow. That didn't take long.
It sure didn't.
Basically 2 hours.
Yeah. About an hour and a half better than last year.
Clean.
I think Sweet's pretty nice here, hey?
Trying to guard the double here now. Keep this 2 yellows alive.
You're nicer. Like the path is the same.
Brittany Tran.
Line's okay.
Well, Corinne Brown, we saw, picked up that single on the measure, has a 6-2 lead over Serena Gray Withers, the reigning university champion, and Gray Withers down by 4 and has a chance for what? Can she get to the Redstone?
She can. She's going to play the run back.
Okay.
I believe it's for 2. I don't see how she won't tick her own at the back. But that yellow stone thrown by Corinne Brown on her final stone, really great draw weight, trying to have separation. But this is the run back, needs to nut it for 2.
Close. Yep. Whoa.
Here we go. Bang. And well done. And for more than that, no, just the deuce. So keeps herself alive. Remember now, in this format, you win, you move on. You lose, you're done.
Yeah, like I said to Sarah.
Hard. Gotta go. Okay.
7-4.
Bad break there. Ran it back, but lined them up now. So a guard on those yellows at some point is guarding both of them properly. Chance to sit 3.
Easy. Whoa.
Brittany Tran. Kathy, I was just saying about the format, and we know you win 4 games and you take home the big money. So are you playing the game any differently because it's win or go home?
I don't think so, because in most events that you play, your win-loss record obviously has an implication on how you move forward. And even though it's sudden death, we saw Rachel Homan today do the same thing she does all the time.
Flank
Even though
the
she was
first,
playing
right?
the 16th seed, this is what I do.
Okay.
I agree. Yeah.
You hit half of this on the left side as we look at it. There is a double, but the top yellow has to travel so far. It's got to go, what, 11, 12 feet to get through the paint. I think they're just going to hit the one and roll in.
If we ever can roll under ours, that's really good. 9-5.
I like the call. So something like that kills this one, but can you get that yellow one far enough with this frost? So I think the audible would be hit and roll this way. Try to get your red maybe under here somewhere.
Skip stones here in 8.
Curl, curl,
and the first from Selena Sturme.
curl, curl.
Now, can she get this little roll? No. And in fact, she will spill
That's a good throw. That didn't
the
do much.
Teano stone underneath there. Rock top edge of the 12. And so the Teano is sitting 2 and does have the last rock.
Yeah. It's a tricky spot to get to.
Remember what caused the problem here? They played a lot of weight at a come around, wrecked on the guard. The guard went into the boards. The guard came back. And that set up the 3.
Okay, Kathy, let's go to the game we started with. Number 1 ranked Rachel Homan against Gabby Wood, the reigning Canadian college champion out of Edmonton. Final stone for Wood.
And Wood was lying 2 before Rachel Homan's final stone. She made a double, and that is why Team Homan lies 3. Trying to get to the nose. Not roll across the top.
And we'll use the little catcher. And we'll pick up the 1, and that will be handshakes, and Rachel Homan will pick up the win. The defending PointsBet champion, reigning Canadian world champion, number 1 team in the world, wins it 11-2.
Those were good ones. Everyone was like contact. Line's a bit tight.
She is,
Hey, you
you
can
can
go.
believe it. I mean, the numbers we talked earlier about Homan and her record last year. She went 67-7. She's already 8-0 this year, now 9-0. She's undefeated against Canadian teams, 31 games now. Her last loss was against Einarson last
year before last season. Yikes.
Clear out of my hand, hey?
So good
Like
she's
just
Yikes.
sword out of my hand. Yeah. No extension.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Would you have first split? I know, but just so I know my kick. Yeah, okay.
3 options here. You could draw one in there and kind of win the game, but if you miss it, you give up 3. You could run this back. It's lined up pretty good, but this is the better call, trying to make that double across here. Again, it's the angle's there, but can you throw it hard enough? Going to use the gear effect turn, get some action on this. If you can hit the thin half, it will spin.
Well, just clean. Okay, that's fine.
3-2. Caitlin Laws, number 4 in Canada, 10 in the world, against the under 25 next gen champion Taylor Reese Hansen.
Well, Taylor was facing 1 buried on her final stone and elected to go around the guard and around that top biter. That yellow stone that is shot was Taylor's final stone. Caitlin took a look at it. No way to move it out. It is completely buried. This is the force, so needs full 8-foot bite of the 4.
And having an outstanding game, Caitlin Laws, and her third, Selena Negevin, at 91%. As we watch the final stone 2 here by Teano.
Line's good. Easy, guys. Just clean it. Just clean. Look. 14.
Needing full 4 there. Good piece of the 8 at least. And that will be good for a single for Laws. And now a big carry here for Skinner and Stremick. Oh dear, and she get it there. Yeah, that's enough. Good for her to pick up 2 to keep herself in the game. Ashley Teano out of the Nutana in Saskatoon. It's our home until Sunday when we crown the 2 champions of this year's PointsBet Invitational. Winsport Event Center. And so nice to be back. We're here, of course, in February for the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. Rachel Homan winning and then going on to a memorable win in Sydney, Nova Scotia at the World Championship. It's great to relive some of those memories with her. She's already off the ice, an 11-2 winner over Gabby Wood. So 3 games remain on the ice. The second half, or the bottom half of the draw for the women will be played tomorrow. We'll have it for you at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll see you first of the men half of the draw tonight when we join you at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Selena Sturme on the left, Ashley Teano on the right. 7-5, Sturme leads it, and she has the last rock now here in 9 playing the Redstone.
Little tight.
Team Sturme, Page made 2 perfect shots. They're stacked lined up, both in front of the tee line, but nice and tight to the forefoot. A lot of work here for Thibodeau to get something going here. They're going to have to bounce these back a bit, and that's hard to do in this surface.
Hard, guys, right up, as far as it'll go. Right to it. Good sweep, guys. 4-5.
So play this out, Vic. If the a double peel is
You
made,
almost only want the one. That's the single peel.
then you're in really good shape because you take. It's going to take Thibodeau 2 tries just to get shot rocked because of the way those red ones were stacked together. So your leads can really help or hurt you in that in these type of ends. Keep in mind, they're 2 up with, which sounds great, but if you get forced to a single, you give up a 3 as Reed Crothers managed to do last year, and now you're draw to the button as opposed to an extra end.
And that's the other thing to keep in mind. We will not play any extra ends in the PointsBet. If we're tied after 10, we'll have the draw to the button to determine the winner.
Changes the strategy in end number 9.
Halfway, tight.
3?
I think we're to it almost.
What do you say?
I think we're to it.
Okay. Pass the curl.
Okay. Yeah, probably close to it.
Okay. Just knife.
I think just leave it.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. 7/8.
Just sliding.
3/4. You just want to roll with it.
Straight.
Probably couldn't have put it in a worse spot. Makes this double fly out of there quite easily. Hit it where the broom is with speed to get them all.
Whoa.
Desiree Haas.
Close.
Close.
Yep.
Yep.
Whoa. Yep.
3 Scotties appearances. A couple with Corinne Brown, and then a year ago with the Sturme.
One more.
It's going to take a couple rocks to move those. Okay. Halfway.
Don't know if you heard that under her breath. Somebody said it's going to take us a couple of rocks.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Missed that. It is. It just because of the perfect alignment from the Page's 2 lead stones.
Where? Take a look. Okay, 2's good. 2's good. Okay. Gonna over curl if it's a 3.
Easy if you're 3.
I heard Ashley yell one more guard, which is this rock that's stopping right now, but you're kind of telegraphing to the other skip what you're thinking of doing on your next shot. Be careful with that.
To me, it looks easier this way, but
What's the telegraphs,
Yeah, that's fine.
Kathy, do you think, by doing that?
I don't know. I'm watching Serena Krigweather.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not even going to pretend.
Okay, no worries. So what are you telegraphing? What are you saying?
She said, let's throw one more guard. That means when this gets peeled, they're not going to do it again.
Okay.
So that kind of you're kind of letting the skip in on what you're planning to do, and that's a bad habit.
Whoa.
No.
Whoa. You're close. Good.
Whoa. So they aren't going to throw a guard is what it looked like. See what happens. So you might have changed, if you're Sturme, you might have changed your mind because of that information you'd get. So they are going to hit now, just like they said. Still dangerous because they don't want to leave a yellow double here. You want to hit this, kill a red, and roll the yellow maybe behind the corner to set up at least a force.
Now there's a little bit of space. Can you make the double here by running this back?
I don't think so, Beck. That's what I was saying earlier. They're just so tight together and lined up. Very, very good shot.
And you're right. So they only get one. Still leaves Sturme sitting the one.
Okay. It should miss it. Sorry. It should miss it. Okay. 9-5.
Oh, Kathy, first time this season. What a mess.
Yes, indeed. I've missed that so much. The story of this game really has been the draw weight of Corinne Brown. And that Yellowstone, she tried to freeze in a pocket, but it still was Serena Gray Withers' lying shot. But for Serena, it was a little bit heavy, wound up ticking her own, rolling away. And so instead of being in any trouble, because of draw weight on her first, this now is an opportunity for two.
I like it. Yeah. Top 4. Little snow behind.
Corinne Brown on the cam loops. Closes to the stone. Sarah Colt. Samantha Fisher out in front. Erin Pincott calling line. And now Pincott out as well. This is going to be a drag. This is going to be a drag, and it will come up light.
Good throw,
So really a big missed opportunity.
The head backing too.
And she had just thrown it in that path.
Yeah.
So one yellow it is, one for Brown in 8.
I think 10-5 is.
To extend her lead.
Or do you like board?
But you know, again, to your point, if somebody comes from behind a game like that and you go back to that and you say, well, we had our chance for a deuce.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, no question.
that may be the difference in the game. Skip stones to come here in this.
Don't remember too many out this wide on the out-turn side going away. I have to think it's frosted up pretty nicely.
Best game on the ice being thrown by Ashley Teveno at 92%. Oh, can you get across? Can you get it across? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And she does. Rolls it underneath. Wonderful.
Super shot.
Ashley Teveno.
That's good.
She knew where that was going to. You could tell by the brushing call. On, off, no panic. They got by very tight.
Yeah, really good. What's the weight? 10-7. Okay.
Is the high side almost better?
I almost wonder if it is. Then
I
it
think I
should
like
be
the high side better, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Make her make a choice.
Yeah. I like that.
Probably like half.
Okay.
Knowing your angles, this is virtually set up. If you get it that way, that goes, and you would redirect right onto here. Dangerous because of the score, but that double is there if you choose to take it on. I think they're going to play the run back, which is tougher of the two. Anything slightly high side on that red would make the double. So they're looking at it there also, either straight back here and get shot rock or kick it onto your own. And that same thing could happen that I drew up. Not a bad idea, because this if they rearrange the front there, at least they open up for the final throw.
Well, she definitely has a couple of options on this, Russ. The only thing she can't do is over curl.
Yeah, true.
Whoa. Yep.
Sturme in her first.
Yes. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Now, what do you got? Run it back. There you go. Oh. And we'll lay it right.
Really nice. Good.
Get there for shot stone as she'll just nibble the top of the button.
You see how that red one went the way I thought it was going to go towards the yellow. So if you just played it,
Yeah.
you would have made the double, but
I thought there would be a little bit more oomph on this red stone, and it just died.
hit a lot of the yellow. But still, very, very nice outcome because you've exposed shot rock, you've buried your own in your shot. Really, really good shot.
I feel like we're all just sharing at this point.
I try to keep.
That's a hard shot.
Yeah.
Do you want to call our timeout?
We could call time if you want, but
Yeah.
my thought was either chase or do this.
I don't know if we have enough to chase.
Yeah.
Do we have any?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We can call time if you want.
I don't know. I'm impartial. If you see this, let's play it.
I like it.
Okay. Easy?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
You got it.
It's there. Tricky. You certainly don't want to run it onto your own, but you make that double.
Easy.
You're then going to roll the shooter over to this type of area. Sit your 2, and you get the force. And the force is not the way this end was unfolding. It would be pretty good effort because you'd be 3 down playing 10, get your 3, and it's a draw for all the marbles.
No, I like that.
This could come up a bit here. It's so close to the center line. The intern tends to bend a little more for most players.
Queen. Yep.
Yep.
Hard. Good.
Yeah, just a slight over curl. Didn't look like enough ice, Kathy. It's just, you know, you knew it was going to be like a 9.5, 10-second hit. It was lots of time to curl.
Yeah, it just, that finish, you just can't hold it. They're going to keep moving with that kind of weight.
Now, team preference here. Do you play a soft one and risk wrecking it to get your 2? Basically put the game out of reach. Because if you could rip it out of there and get a very easy 1, but is 3 enough? 3 up coming home without. It's not perfect. Looks like they're going to play like a normal weight, try to hang around here.
Final stone for Selena Sturme.
Curl.
And the team from the Saville Community Sports Center in Edmonton.
Curl.
And we'll sit down and it'll roll away. And so getting again just the 1 when 2 may have led to handshakes. We'll go to 10. Teano needs to come back. It's our opening day, brand new season of champions, and it starts here in Calgary, Winsport Event Center, Canada Olympic Park, and the PointsBet Invitational. And on this Wednesday afternoon, we say hello, Canada, welcome back. We've already seen one final. Rachel Homan, #1 in Canada, #1 in the world. A winner over Gabby Wood, the reigning Canadian college champion. The final was 11-2. Wood out of Concordia University, a smaller university out of Edmonton. We have 3 games on the ice, and right now watching Selena Sturme, the reigning Alberta champion out of the Saville Community Sports Center in Edmonton, against Ashley Teano from the Nutana in Saskatoon. Sturme leads it, and Teano now has the last rock, coming home down by 3 and playing the Yellow Stones.
Got it, curl.
Teano's left the door open a little bit, Vic. We see 3s all the time. And 1's behind the tee line here, so that's not going to help them either.
Keep going. Hard.
2 nice corners set up.
4-7.
Judge, good sweep.
T-line. It's a good spot. That was my thought. Yeah. Do you like that? You got it.
Line back 4. Line's good.
So ideal with this much curl, but try to leave some room for another one here because you've got 2 lined up. Let's say you get this T line.
Right now. T back 4.
And they peel
Line's
one
really
yellow,
good.
then you go in front of the T line one. They're both buried.
Little finish. Yep. Yep.
Just like that.
Whoa,
Taylor Sturme playing to the wings.
Good. 14.
Kathy, are you, I mean, I guess you have to because you're down by 3, but Teano's playing to the wings and ignoring all those stones in the middle belonging to Sturme.
She has to. She's down by 3.
Yep. Yes.
So whether she loses by 3 or 4 or 5 doesn't really matter.
No, and you just need to create something with that famous 3 that we saw at the Olympic trials years ago was all because a corner guard was left in play. And so you can bury a lot of stones behind there and then start to manipulate the others. And I don't think she has to do it yet.
No, because there's only 2 that are problematic. The one behind the T line could help them.
Yeah.
Yeah, this might even be early, eh?
Yeah, I do think so.
Danger with these is because you need 3. Throwing a hit weight, there's a chance you can roll out.
Whoa.
Roll out's not an option right now.
Yep. Hard. Really hard. Okay. Nose. Yep.
Taylor Sturme, nose, and we'll leave hers top 12.
9.
Still has Sturme sitting the 2.
This is a massive opportunity here. Peel weight double if you could ever get at that buried one.
4-2. Caitlin Laws out of the Fort Rouge in Winnipeg. Number 4 in Canada against Taylor Reese Hansen, throwing from Victoria, the under-25 champion.
Well, desperate times, desperate measures, trying to come in off after her draw on her first stone came light. And we'll catch that way too thick, so a steal of 1 for Caitlin Laws.
To increase her lead now to 5-2, coming home.
Oh, it's close.
Good.
Super shot. That could be a game winner, Vic.
Danielle Schmiemann.
Now there's 3 they have to deal with, plus you've kicked that yellow out in the open. Really nice.
Firm. Whoa. Clean. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Roll. Hard. Good.
Really good. Just ticked the red on the second red on the way by. Didn't quite bury. Good attempt.
Are you thinking 11-5?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Good sweep. Yeah. This has got just some nice curl to it, hey? Okay. 11 and
Well, there you go.
You want me to
You know,
kick
there's
a little more than that, or it should be okay?
your eye might suggest there's frost, but you hear from the ice, there's some nice curl there.
Yeah. More down the middle for this particular one, too. Once you get farther over, it'd be a bit dicey. You can kill this yellow roll away. The red rocks in such a good spot for Sturme. It's going to be tough to deal with.
Hard. Whoa, curl.
Got him, I did.
Curl.
Oh.
Okay.
Game on
11-1.
now. No weight in that thing.
So 1 and 2 do belong to Sturme. 3 and 4
Sorry, good sweeping. Yeah,
belong to Teano, the 2 yellow stones on the left-hand side.
Pretty flat, but
Wow.
okay. This one first.
If you don't believe there's a double here, you don't have to panic yet. You could freeze one in here.
Well, Corinne Brown out of Kamloops, number 8, against Serena Gray Withers, the reigning university champion. And it is Brown who is sitting shot rock. Can they make this run back?
Well, it's very tough, and Serena has faced a lot of this kind of situation today, but that is all that she has is this triple run, yellow onto your own to move it back onto the shot stone. It would only be for 1, but it is the only way to score.
Serena Gray Withers, the University of Alberta Pandas, and will just drive it by, and so it's a steal of one more for Brown to go up 8-4. And the Pandas will huddle.
Yeah, at one point we called just
And right now it looks like they're going to play it out.
Yeah, why not? I like this call, Kathy, but it's dangerous. If you ever tick this guard going by, you're looking at 4. You can hit just a soft weight. That's what they're going to do with it. They're taking tremendous ice, just really board weightish. Hit and sit second, third.
Curl.
Really important to hang around here.
Whoa, curl. Whoa, curl. Streets. Streets.
Whoa, 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 whoa. It's good, good.
Punch it through.
I got an 11.
Shot rock belongs right now to Sturme as we play Skip Stones here in 10.
Yeah. This is there, but it's really thin.
Yeah, it's quite thin. What if we nose? She doesn't have a double then. And then hopefully if she hits this, we have a double.
I think if we know, she's probably doing this.
Yeah. I was just thinking if we can get a hair across those edge, but I guess that's pretty high up there.
I think we do this for now.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Hope she misses
She's
the
always
double, and
gonna
we might
the
have
double
a
off of
yeah.
that.
Okay. 10-5.
Okay. You got it.
They looked at the double, but that's an all or nothing. If you miss it, your game's pretty well over. If they could just kill this red one, maybe even roll into this type of area, then there's a jam opportunity back here that could create the 3-ender again.
Your way. Yeah. Trying to like.
And it's a very sharp double too.
Yeah,
That is not easy.
Yeah, no, and the yellow's almost in the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
You could try to roll the other way a little bit, but I don't think you can roll far without killing your own.
Killing your own.
So maybe roll on top of that red, Kath. Soft weight.
Yeah, don't mind that.
Clean. Close. Yeah. Yep.
It's going.
Teano, Skinner, and Stremick.
Whoa, curl, 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 curl. Any roll, any roll.
They're able to get it by without touching their own. And for the moment, they are sitting 2,
9-9.
needing 3 to tie.
Okay.
So it's the number 5 Sturme who leads. But look at this. When you do team comparisons, I don't think you often see that.
No.
Where Teano in the front end and the back end and overall, the team that is trailing is actually out-curling the team that is leading. The game story is brought to you by Montana's Barbecue and Bar, Canada's home for barbecue.
Just hit that top one. You can see 100% of it. Long guard, stay.
Nose or under?
Don't want to roll away right this time because you'd set up a red double on the right side of the sheet. Hit and stay there, and I don't see a shot for 3. Unless it's a feathered double of some kind. Similar shot that was just thrown.
Whoa, curl.
Selena Sturme and her last chance here to run her out of rocks. Oh dear.
Okay. 10.5.
Can you make this?
Oh, yes, you can.
Wow.
Taylor's curled a lot here.
You don't have to hit it far off line, so therefore your shooter's not going to roll that far, Vic. Somewhere in that area.
And you imagine now 3 to tie
9-5.
and to draw for the win.
Taylor's curled a lot here, so just stay close.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Nose hit there, it was game. Didn't see the weight call, but that's for normal weight, that's minimum
She has to be sitting 3. Final stone, make a double. And then you'll have a draw to the button. Final rock on the way. Teano, Tran calling line. Sturme, Skinner on the brush. Here we go. Bang. Oh, and she'll drive it through. And she'll only get the 2. Had to make the double. But Sturme will win it. Teano with just the deuce. Final 8-7. Sturme is your winner, and she'll move on.
The 2024 PointsBet Invitational is brought to you in part by PointsBet, the official sports gaming partner of Curling Canada. By New Holland, proud sponsor of Curling Canada. By Sponge Towels Paper Towel, nothing absorbs like it. And by Home Hardware, here's how.
Let's quickly update the game between Caitlin Laws and Taylor Reese Hansen. Kathy?
Well, for Taylor Reese Hansen was trying to use a corner guard and burying a whole bunch behind. Came in on her final stone. Caitlin needs to make 2 go away to end this game.
And does make 2 go, and that will be enough, and Laws will pick up the win. The final is 5-2, so she'll advance now to the Elite 8. And we also have a final now with Corinne Brown out of Kamloops, a winner over the university champion Serena Gray-Withers out of the University of Alberta Pandus, as she runs her out of stones, and the final there is 8-4. So number 8 beats number 9, and so it's interesting. All the higher seeded teams, Laws 4, Sturme 5, Homan 1, and Brown 8. They all advance on this first day of the Sweep 16 in the women's field. So now you're on to the Elite 8, and with it, of course, you've picked up a win, and that first win is worth $3,000. So a little more money for Homan, and for Brown, Sturme, and Laws. So we'll get our first look at the men's Sweep 16 tonight, as we'll see Matt Dunstone, last year's runner-up in the PointsBet, against Jordan McDonald, seeded number 13. And McDonald comes in as the under-25 champion out of the Assiniboine, and he's already played 3 events this year, so coming in not green, as it were. Some of the teams not playing very much. He's probably played as much as anybody with 3 events. So that's when we join you at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on this opening day of our Season of Champions. And here at the Winsport Event Center in Calgary, till we talk with you again at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you for joining us. The PointsBet Invitational is on Canada's sports leader, TSN.